أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. It's the last few nights of this sacred month of Ramadan. I'll quote you two riwayat here before as tabarruk, and that is the importance of reciting Quran. The hadith says that Man dakhala al-maqabir faqara'a surat Yasin. Whosoever enters a graveyard, a cemetery, کسی وارد قبرستان بشه و اونجا سوره یاسین را تلاوت کند خفف الله عنهم يومئذ وكان له بعدد من فيها حسنات. Allah will reduce upon them whatever the tough time they are going through, and then says وكان له بعدد من فيها حسنات, and the count of those people who are buried over there, that much of hasanat will be written in your a'mal. Now we were talking about Al-Kursi. Al-Kursi is the you can say the crème à la crème of all of the ayat of Quran. And there says in that hadith, this is from the Holy Prophet, says قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إذا قرأ المؤمن آية الكرسي وجعل ثواب قراءته لأهل القبور. You recited one Ayatul Kursi, and you recited that one Ayatul Kursi for all of the Ahl al-Qubur, not one person. If 1,000 people were buried in a graveyard, you dedicated that one Ayatul Kursi to 1,000. Or make it even larger, from the first mu'min Allah created to the last mu'min who will come into existence. Assuming 10 billion Allah has created or will create altogether. Here Rasulullah says, إِذَا قَرَأَ الْمُؤْمِنِ, you recited one Ayatul Kursi for 10 billion mu'mineen, لأهل القبور أدخله الله تعالى قبر كل ميت. Allah will send the reward of that one Ayatul Kursi of yours to every one mu'min, that is 10 billion mu'mineen in our example. وَيَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ لِلْقَارِ دَرَجَةُ 70 نَبِيًّا. For that one Ayatul Kursi that you recited, Allah will raise your ranks by 70, and then give you the ranks of 70 prophets, not one prophet, 70 prophets. Plus, وَخَلَقَ اللَّهُ مِنْ كُلِّ حَرْفٍ. From this Ayatul Kursi, how many huruf are there? If 50 huruf are there in Ayatul Kursi, says that for every harf that you recited, Allah will create a malak, an angel, يُسَبِّحُ لَهُ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ. That until the day of judgment, that malak, that angel, will glorify and praise for you and seek forgiveness for you until the day of judgment. That is, one Ayatul Kursi was recited and was dedicated to so many people, that much of an ajr, that much of a reward is there. Now this بله من اینو از توی دقیقا نمیدونم، اون چیزی که تو ذهنم هستش 50 حرف یا شاید هم بیشتر، نمیدونم الان خاطرم نیست، ظاهرا 50 تاست، باید نگاه کنم. خب حدیث میفرماید که شما اگر یه آیت الکرسی را خوندید و هدیهش فرستادید به اهل قبور، حالا به هر تعدادی هم که بودند به همهشون هم ثواب میرسه. بعد هم خدای متعال به عدد همین حروفی که در آیت الکرسی هست ملکی به وجود میارد، خلق میکند که این ملک تا روز قیامت تسبیح خواهد کرد و از طرف شما هم طلب مغفرت میکند و از طرف اون مرحوم هم طلب مغفرت میکند. بله. این بعد توی این آیت الکرسی we talked a little bit about آیت الکرسی. One of the ayat of that says يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم. That is, he knows what is before them and he knows what is behind them. That is, he the Almighty knows all the realities, and the shifaat also is with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So effort to prove innocence is not personal. In fact, shifaat is an effort towards salvation, towards forgiveness, and He the Almighty Allah, being aware, should result in man being ashamed of his actions. Now that was regarding يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُمْ, that Allah, He is aware of everything, He knows everything, what is hidden inside me He knows, what my intentions are He knows. And the knowledge of man, that is very limited, very restricted. Now, whatever we know, it's nothing. The hearing that we have, that is also limited. We can hear up to a certain extent. Beyond that, we can't. We can see very restricted, very limited. The colors also that we see, we say it's 7, but in reality, there are far more. We can't see. So man, he is very limited, very restricted, very low in everything. Says, يَعْلَمُ, he knows, ma ya'lamu ma bayna aydihim, what is before them and what is behind them. Means that whatever you know now, your present and the future, or your past, He knows all of it. He is totally aware of everything. Now the next ayah in Ayat Al-Kursi, it said that وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. That is, he is not wearied by their preservations, and He is the all-exalted, the all-supreme. So two things are mentioned here. وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. What is meant by kursi? Now in this Ayat Al-Kursi, Arsh also was mentioned. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam says that Arsh are the sciences that the Almighty, He has informed the prophets and the messengers. Kursi are those ulum, those sciences no one is aware of, no one knows them. Or sometimes Kursi, some recognize Kursi as the might, the qudrat, the rule of the Almighty Allah that encompasses the skies and the earth. And despite that, the earth compared to the skies, it's not even more than a ring which is thrown into a never-ending desert. The size of the ring, and in a desert, you can't really see it. So this earth compared to the skies, it's like a ring in a desert. Says, وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Allah's rule, it is vast, it is huge, and it takes the skies and the earth, all of them, it is the rule of Allah. Now Ayat Al-Kursi teaches people that God is the only owner. He is that alim, He is that Malik, and He is the alim and the Malik of this alam. Allah knows, Allah owns, everything is His. وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. He owns everything, He knows everything, He owns, and in all the information that we know, and in fact the entire creation, with all the creation in it, all of that is in the hold and the might of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. So people should not compare the eternal might of the Creator with the might of the creation. That is where they all go wrong. Getting tired is the quality of and the condition of matter. Now we get tired after reciting 1.5 hours of Quran, we get tired. After working 8 hours, we get tired. Because we are material. We are in this material world that we are living in, so we get tired. But Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, who is the Creator, and all of the might is His, existence belongs to Him, Qudrat belongs to Him, He never gets tired. إن ربك هو القوي العزيز. Your Lord, He is mighty, He is strong. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam says that the passage of time never makes God old, nor does He ever change. God is the same, never changes, never gets old. لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. This Ayat Al-Kursi says He never yawns, He never sleeps, He never slumbers. Now, believing in this might of God and this qudrat of God, where it said وَسَعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, so believing and paying attention to His eternal might gives peace, tranquility to a mu'min. And a mu'min, he feels safe and feels a protection with having this faith that I believe in God who is mighty, who is qadir, who is alim, and who possesses this entire alam. I believe in that God. So when that belief in that strong God is there, that belief gives us strength, that belief gives you strength. In this Ayatul Kursi, when we started, it said, Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. And then it started saying that He is Qayyum, He is Hayy, He is Alim, He is Qadir, He is Azim. So every one of these attributes of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, Qayyum means everything stands because of Him. Hayy means He is living. Every living, His hayat is from Him. He is Alim, He knows. And every ilm of every person, every knowledge is from Him. He is Qadir, He is mighty. If I have some might, if I can do something, that might is given to me by Him. He is great. If someone gets to a rank which is high, that greatness also is given to him by Him. So every one of these attributes of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala are productive in man's growth and education. And the best school is that which gives hope and love, enlightens one's future, enlightens one's destiny. And the adherents also, they have that sensation that they are constantly under observation, their wrong can be forgiven, and the one governing them is kind, is merciful, is Hayy, is Aziz, is Rahman, is Rahim. So in brief, that God is worthy of worship, God who is alive, He is firm, He is never weak, never sleeps, never yawns, never slumbers, never gets tired, and no one can do anything without His might. He has control of everything. Such a God can be worshipped, such a God can be loved, and you can rely on such a God and have hope in Him. A God that is defined in Quran and especially in this Ayatul Kursi is beautiful. But when you look into the definition and description of God in Torah that has been distorted, in Injil that has been changed, how do they get stuck in dead ends of this material creation? Just think over that, how beautifully this Ayatul Kursi has described the existence of God. And just look into these words of this Ayatul Kursi, they are beautiful. Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm, until the end of it. And in this dua iftitah that you recite every day, you say that Alhamdulillah alladhi hadana lihada wa ma kunna linahtadiya lawla an hadana Allah. All praise belongs to Allah who has guided us to this, and وَمَا كُنَّا لِنَهْتَدِيَ لَوْلَا أَنْ هَدَانَ اللَّهُ. We wouldn't have been guided had He not guided us. So guidance is from Him, the Almighty Allah. وَسُبْحَانَ رَبِّكَ رَبِّ الْعِزَّةِ عَمَّا يَصِفُونَ وَسَلَامٌ عَلَى الْمُرْسَلِينَ وَالْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ.